to this. Basically everything that I did to my house. Filming this after I've already done grinding art, so power tools you're going to need. The grinder with a shroud so you can collect dust, and then you want a vac on this side, so obviously you just want to extract your dust. You want a mortar disc slightly thicker. I'll put out prices and a description or whatever in description so you can get these bits. More wattage the better. So you're going to need a grinder with a shroud on it, so and a vac. An end reel do job, but you're just going to end up cleaning it out more, just emptying it more often, depending on how big project is that you're taking on. You need a drill, well an SDS, a little bit of an hammer drill, just so that you can put one of these pecker bits in. That'll get you into areas what your grinder can't reach. So when you're into your internal corners, your grinder won't get them, or behind pipe work, or close up to windows and stuff. Just get a little bit local with this. PPE, these are personal protective stuff that you're going to need for when you're grinding out. You're definitely going to need a mask. 100% certain you're going to need a mask. And, well, either paper mask, any sort of mask, you're definitely going to need a mask. You're going to need eye protection, or you could even get a full helmet, respirator, whatever you feel comfortable wearing, but you steam up pretty quick, so it's tedious work, and you don't want to be feeling uncomfortable. You're going to want eye protection as well. Ear protection, this is only former ear protection I've only got with hard hat and that, but I was using earplugs, so you can use earplugs or whatever, just some ear protection. You don't want to be listening to it. It's not overly loud, it's just annoying. You just don't want to listen to it. I didn't use gloves when I was grinding art. I feel like I'm more comfortable holding grinder with art gloves. It just feels better for me. Personal choice, I suppose. I've had bad experience grinding art before with gloves. My gloves have actually been caught in shroud, and it's pulled me in, and it's caught my hand. So I prefer not to wear gloves. Some waterproof gloves for when you're doing your filling in. I'm doing it out of cement just for easiness at mixing, because cement and sand's easier for me. I know where I am with it. I can colour it. This is my colouring. I bought this from Keyline, but you can get it from anywhere really. I think it's about 15 quid a tub. All it is this is black. You can get different colours. It tints your cement, so it puts a bit of colour on it. I didn't want white because it's an old building and it's built in a coal village. It was built in a coal village, so like all cement, original cement, will have probably been coal dust. I'm just going to try and replicate it by trying to just tint it down. I don't want black, I just want a grey colour. But cement will look black until it dries. All this is, it just looks like soot. It just looks like soot what you get on when the sweep chimneys. That's all it is to me, that's all it seems like. But yeah, you pay fruit numbers for it because we can't get out of it no more. So when you're mixing your cement, you want to be, well, when you're mixing your gobble up, it wants to be 4 to 1. Around that figure, you could do 3 sand, 1 cement, 4 sand, 1 cement, 5 sand, 1 cement. It depends. I'm going 4 to 1. I'm doing 4 sand, 1 cement. 1 kilogram of that will take me up to my colour, same as rest of the house. So I know I ain't got no variations in colour. As long as I use same colour sand and same brand of cement, it should be the same all throughout. But it won't be. It will vary. It depends, because sometimes it varies with your cement. Sometimes you knock it up, you put a bit of water in just to get it more pliable. Yeah, so sometimes it will be a little. Anyway, this is what I'm filling back in with. So after you've ground your joints out, you flush them out with water, you're going to want something like this. Or there's many ways to skin a cat. There's loads of ways of doing this job, and a lot of people will have their own opinions on this, but this is what I found works best for me. So I've found out that this, you fill it up with just a normal like mastic gun. You fill it up with cement, and then just push it into holes with that. Once that fills your joints up, that just saves you getting it on your trowel all the time. So you're getting it on your trowel and you're pushing it in, and then you're bucketing it, you gobbo in it. It just takes a lot of effort out in it. So once you fill your joints up, because I've ground out pretty deep, I've probably gone 30 mil, whereas you only need to go about between 8 and 15 mil, because it's an old house and it's my house. I've got time, I've got patience, I can dig deep. So that's what I'm doing. I'm digging deep with grinder as far as I can go in. And I'm going to fill it up with this, so I know I'm getting to back. I'm flushing my joints, I'm filling them up. And then once you've filled it up with this, you strike it off with, you just strike it off. You're going to need a little bit extra, because it's not going to fill it all in, but you're only going to be yeah, you'll see it in a minute. So you need your gloves so you don't get cement stains on your hands. You can do it out of lime, because there's loads of different ways of mixing more, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to go into what I'm doing, which is cement and colour dye. Once you've filled it and you struck it off, so you put your finish on it, give it a little bit of time to set, so well, 5-10 minutes or so. Just once it starts going a little bit dry, then you want to go over it with just a soft brush, soft to medium brush, and that'll get all the burrs off it, and it'll just make a smoother finish. That's how we're doing it. So let's crack on. Let's make a start. I've already done this bit because a few on you will probably have something to say about me working off of that. Well, what you don't see don't hurt you. So this is how far I've got with it. I grind it out. With it being an old coal village, I think it's built up on, I don't know, it looks like old bits of coal and whatever they're fondling about. It's over 100-year old, this house. I think it's 120 something year old, 130-year old. So yeah, it's not actually cement and it's not lime, but I'm going to put cement back in it because that's cement, and to be fair, it's alright on this style of brick, cement. Ideally I'd probably put some lime in it, but I'm not going to go down that route. I'm just going for the cheapest option. I'm going to put some coloured cement in, and that's what I've done on this side of the house. That's what I've done. That's I put some black gob, or well, it just looked like soot. Put some soot in with mixture with cement, just to darken it down, to try and get like a grey colour, a grey darkish, and well, just not a white. I didn't want a white. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. This is the reason why I'm doing it, because it's basically shot. There's another video on this when I'm removing render. When I've removed render and then I've blasted paint off that were underneath. And then take them ivy off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some new fascia boards on here. I'm probably going to leave that because it's not rotted, it's fairly solid. So what I'll probably end up doing is just putting some plastic fascia board over that, and then some new gutter in. But it looks at this, all my eave trays, all that's gone. You see that felt? So I'm probably just going to put a roll of damp in there, about 18-inch, just lift it up, so probably just so it goes under that rotted away, and then plastic can run into gutter, so water, whatever comes down there. And see here where it's rotted and it's missing. So what I'll do is I'll lift it, put my plastic in, my 18-inch damp, well, damp proofing, what they normally use on bricklaying sites, and then I'm just going to have it so it overlaps plastic, so it goes under that stuff, and then it overlaps into what they call it. You can get some eave trays, but I'm a bit tight and I don't want to spend no money. So I'm going to be grinding this out, and this is what we've got. I've got my vac set up down there. I don't know if you can see it. I've got an industrial vac that's pumping up here. It's a 110, it's a works one, but my grinder's a 240 because it's a DIY grinder. Well, I say DIY, it's best DIY one you can get anyway. And I'll show you, well, I'll leave a description, no, I'll show you that in a minute. I've tied this off, this little bit of extra pipe comes up to my grinder. This shroud here, with about, I forget how much I paid for it, I think about 25 or 35 quid off at Amazon. It's just a normal, that's it there. Oh, you can see there's some dust got stuck in that bit. Not quite sure how it's got in there. But yeah, that's how it sets up. And you can buy them from Toolstation, them raking art joints. I think I got that one from a trade supplier around here, and it's what are they? I think they're about 5 quid. But I think Toolstation sell them and they're a tenner. Or 15 quid or something. But they do last pretty long time. Like I've done all house on about 5 blades. So let me just straighten that up. Right, that attaches just where your normal thing would go. There you can see right down there. You see that little lug stuck in that? Bit of shit. All I've been doing to get that out is... That's it. It's out now. So now what I'll do is put that back on there. That stops all... That causes it to thing and it stops dust. So what you want to do when you're grinding it is you've got to try and... See this bit, this is the bit where it's cutting from, so your blade's throwing it. It's hard to film it and hold it at the same time. It's throwing it to the right hand side. So when you're putting your blade in, you want to try and cap as much that off as you can, and then you push your blade in. I'm going in 30mm, well I'm going in thickness at blade. You don't need to, you only need to go in about 10mm. But I'm going to go in about 30, well, set 4, let's have a look. It says 32mm, but yeah, I'm going in as far as I can because it's my house and I've got plenty of time to do it. So I'm gonna, when you do it, you've got to try and shove that in there, and then you've got to try and work that way so it carries on shoving. Oh, I can't film it. It's hard to film and show you. You've got to stick it in like that, and you've got to work that way to try and throw dust into that hole so it'll suck it up. And it's the same when you... Oh, that's a little bit more. Do that now. When you're doing them that way, what I've been doing is I've been hitting it there and then pushing it in like that, so it tries catching it as much as I can. You've got to be able to have a, well look, you can see it dust. There's an acceptable amount of dust that you're allowed, like, I suppose, but with this being DIY I don't really need this shroud on. I'm only doing it to try and keep dust down for neighbours, but they're not that, well, I've no doubt that they'll put a complaint in about me for doing this, so I'm trying my best. I'm doing everything I can and it is what it is. Oh, since that last video I forgot to show you, I put some new lead work in here as well. I left that old lead underneath, you can just about see it there. I just went on top of old stuff. I ground, well it was already ground out to be fair, and I pushed it in about 20mm. I ripped a bit of lead and then I knocked it in every so often to peg it, and then I put some silicone in. I should have used exterior silicone but I only had some bathroom silicone, so we'll just see how long that lasts. It's no true job for me to nip back up and put some more in if it does come out. But anyway, my old lead went on that courser, so my old lead's about there and it comes down and goes to there. So all I've done is I've gone over top on it. I've just left all old lead in and then just gone over it and then braid it in. I think that looks alright. I put this one in. Well, we don't get no leaks now anyway. In fact, there's a bit that gets in there and it does come through kitchen roof. So when I've done grinding this out, yeah, that's that stuff, look. This is what's in it. Watch. It just crumbles away. There's no strength to it at all. It's just dust. I think it's just coal dust and muck, whatever it was when they were building house. But yeah, that's it. It's just knackered, just shit. So what I'm going to do is obviously just rejoint it. It's been done originally with something else. There, look, some normal cement. Then that's old cement that were on it. But what I'll do is I'll grind it out. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to grind this section out, and then I'm going to put I'll flush all joints out with water, so then it's all back to what they call it. And then I'll probably not get round to it today, but I'll probably do some filling in of it weekend, maybe when my mates finish work and he can come round and give me an hand, because you've got to fill. I'm doing it with tube and silicone gun. I'm going to squirt it in under pressure so it gets right to the back, and then just finish it off, strike it off with trowel. I'll show you that when I get to it. I can't reach that there. I couldn't reach it with blaster and I can't reach it with grinder, so I'm going to leave that little bit. I don't think you're going to see it anyway. Anyway, we've got an helper with us. Our Jack. He's going to be doing some recording for us. Say hello, Jack.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, what's happened here? Go get another one, mate. Go get another. What you say?
I'm going to go get a snack.
A snack? Some treats? Get me a drink, please. Can you manage?
Yeah.
Right, climbing frame pot, kids. That's what you want. A little bit of tower scaff setting up, and then some dodgy looking boards, and a little dodgy whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna do a bit of grinding, and then I'm gonna let our kid take over and he can do what they call it, filming. But I'll try and do some close-up stuff so you can see what it's doing and how it's doing it. I'll put my mask on. You're going to need a mask as well because it's dusty as hell. And then some goggles. And I've actually got my earplugs in as well because I just don't want to listen to it. Right, let's see what we can get going on here. Oh, before I start, I've got my mask on now, but this DeWalt is from... Oh, let me take my mask off. This DeWalt is from Tool Station. This is biggest RPM. I don't know if you can see that, but it's, what's that, 11,000 RPM. It's a fair size. It's a fair size, what they call it, DIY thing. So let's see if I can get it model numbered up, and then you can... Because depending on size of job what you want to take on, you're going to need a fair old grinder, like something that's got some balls behind it. Bigger the better, more RPM the better, really. Let's see if I can drop this on here somehow. What I normally do is do perps first. So you do, if you do up joints first, do as many as you can. Like do that area. It's not so bad because it's only a small panel. Let me stand back a bit so you can see. Yeah, it's not a really big panel anyway, so it's quite easy to do. But if you do all your perps first, when you then do your bed joints, when you come across, you'll see the ones that you're missing or ones that you do miss. And I can guarantee you might feel like you've got them all, but if you do it that way, you will see one or two that you do miss. It just saves doing it. Well, I've managed to do it here. I've cut brick a bit, but here like this here. I tried, because all this lead work went right up here, and they had some studs. I'm going to have to cut that out a little bit better. But it had lead work all over, and to be fair, I'm working off of that. And it's just a little bit sketchy, like. It's where they had old aerial, TV aerial sticking out and up that way. But yeah, where else have I cut it? I've cut a bit of brick there, like, but you know when it's jointed up, you're not even going to see that. It's mainly for weatherproofing, really. That's all I want to get it done. I want to get house buttoned up for this Christmas. I want to get it all buttoned up, get all guttering on, fix all leaks, and hopefully that's about it for this house. I think I've done everything then. And I had drawn up the other day. I've got just on the other side of this roof here that goes down, I've got a broken tile, so I need to get up there at some point. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but just nice. Oh, do you like how I cleaned my roof as well? I cleaned all that. They were all like black and mouldy and shit. But yeah, I'll get onto that another day.
No. Mainly because you're it way.
Hey, you can turn that off now, mate.
Alright.
Right, and so what I do on last bit, on the bits that you can't reach with grinder, such as them little tatches and them little snotters there, down edge what you can't get in with grinder, just go in with little breaker drill and just peck them out, just so you can get a bit of a joint on it, just a bit of filler for it. Right, I'm going to get that done while it's before it pisses it down. Because I've only got a little area to do. I'm not going to mix a full load up. I'm just going to do half a load. Oh yeah, forgot to add. Some people like to chuck a bit of cement, a bit of washing up liquid in with it just to keep it bound together. I don't really want to bound it together with that because I know it takes strength out of cement. So what I'm going to band it with a bit of plasticizer. It's about 12 quid I think for a tub that big. But you don't need this. This just keeps it workable for a little bit longer. So it like stops water coming to the top. So when you've ever mixed gobbo and you've ever got any cement and you've got it in your tub and if you tap in the bottom of the tub, all your water comes to the top. So this stuff still do that, but not as bad. This will try and keep water together and it keeps it. Well, it's hard to explain, but yeah, it works a little bit better. You're on about 100 ml for this. About that much will do. Don't add too much water because you can't take water out, but you can always put water in. Right, so that's your consistency, what we're after. Wants to look a bit like, just a little bit drier than toothpaste I'd have thought, somewhere about that. Just enough so it's not too sticky. These joints are really big. Like that's where that crack was. I've got a full crack there that goes all the way through. Like it's going to take a lot of gobbo that. It's probably going to take a few tubes to get them filled in because there's a full crack that goes all the way up. But on normal joints, such as them there, let's see if we can get a camera on it. Such as them normal joints, it'll take some tubes, but not near as much as what these are going to take. Ideally you want another man now filling you another tube up, but I ain't got one, so I've got to do it myself. I'm not overly bothered about spilling any gob on either, because I've got all the stuff to clean it. I'm actually a cleaner, if you didn't know. I can actually get it off, so that's not a problem for me. So I'm a little bit messy when it comes to that, but I suppose it doesn't really matter. You will get a bit of dry because it's pushing water through it. It's a lot quicker if you've got two men, because you could have one man filling your tube up. One man could be filling you this up all while you're squirting it in line. Phone's going annoying. Right, what I normally do now is, I can't see where it's filming because I've got gobble on screen, but get some of your dry stuff, what you dropped earlier, mainly off the board maybe, not fully dry but just wants to be a bit, well, so it sticks to your board. I'm going for my bigger one, my bigger end, so I'll flatten it off like so. Now I'll tap underneath, it's a bit too dry I think that. Bit too dry, but if you tap underneath it tends to, well, it's going to fall like because it's too dry, but when my trowel gets wet I'll show you that again in a sec. But so when you're striking off now, you just want to be, this is too deep, this joint is too deep, pushing it in too far. I need a bigger trowel. See if there's another one of them jointers knocking about, Jack. No, well, it might be my toolbox in the kitchen somewhere. It'd be nice to be able to catch it, but I'm not that good. Good enough. You're trying to push it in, not scrape it out or scrape it off. You're trying to push on into joints. This joint is too deep, though, it's going in too far. Something like that. That's what you want it to look like. And then you get a little bit longer to dry. I know I've got some snotters on it and stuff. I'm going to show you how to get that off after with a little bit of chemical. It's not too hard, it's not a big job. It'll dry like this here, can you see? Oh no, what, this camera's gone off again. Right, can you see this like chalkiness here? That's what it'll dry like. It'll not dry like that, it'll dry like that grey. But I'll show you how to get off with jet wash and a bit of chemical. You only want a very light wash after anyway. But just leave it at that stage for now. And then give it what? Probably do another section and then come back to this and brush it off with your soft brush. And that should get you it. In fact, I'll do that little soft brush in now and just have a little look, see what it looks like. Nah, it's just pulling joints a bit too much. I'm going to run back over that with jointer. When you brush it and it don't leave them scuff marks in. Sorry, actually that. You want to go across joints, so when you're brushing it you want to be coming across, so you go across all these. You don't go down or across like that. So you just want to try and do it diagonal. Something like that. So I'll just do this real quick. You want to get stuff like, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you want to get that sort of stuff off if you can with brush, because that's hard to get off with chemical. As long as you knock it back so it's not something similar to that, that'll be fine. Your chemical will get that with jet wash. Just no big clumps on it. Right, I'll set you all back up in a time lapse now. Right, and that's it. I'm a little bit rusty. It's taking me a lot longer than what it usually does. Well, what it used to do. I'm way too rusty. Fastest way of doing it is actually with orc, plasterer's orc, and then pushing it in with what they call it, one of them jointing sticks and little thin ones, and then striking it off after. But I'm not good enough. I know I've lost my skill when it comes to that. So my next job now is I'm leaving that board on because that board's alright. It's not rotted. It just, well, ideally it wants to come off, but I'm just going to overboard it like I did that up there. Just going to put some PVC overboard over the top, just on that piece. Put a bit of guttering across here, and then a down pipe just onto this roof, and then catch it again with some more guttering under here. Well, that should be all buttoned up now. That should be nice and watertight. New lead work. Oh yeah, that's a problem. I didn't have no lead mate, like lead to brick, so I just used normal bathroom silicone across there, across that joint, and we'll just see how long it lasts. And I've run out of that stuff, and I didn't want to go out and get any, so I've used gobbo, I've used cement to joint it here. I have a feeling it will eventually crack out and fall out, but I'll probably have a tub of that knocking about in a couple of months' time, or maybe a couple of years' time, from another job. So it's not a job for me to knock on it and get on with that, like. But yeah, this is black at minute, but it should dry. Get onto it. It should dry this colour. Something similar to this. That's corner's done. Oh, I ain't washed this off yet. What I should have done, well, I ain't washed this gable off. What I should have done is just had a nice light brick acid, just a 1%, 2% or whatever, and it'll just pull these last bits off. But from a distance it looks alright. I'm happy with that. I've still got quite a lot to do on this house, so that's last of my worries. Oh yeah, this sort of stuff. In hindsight, I should have put a cover over it, put some tarpaulin over it, but it's alright because I know how to clean it. It's my trade. As long as if we knock these big bits off by just brushing it, this pasty stuff's alright, don't worry about that. You'll get that with like 1 or 2% of brick acid mixed with water. Just a nice pump and spray. Just dampen it down, and then just go over it with jet wash, and it'll come up like brand new. It's not, once thick on it's off like that. Set thick on it's gone. It's only powder, so you get that powder off with a nice little. It might get it with jet wash on its own, to be fair, without any chemical. But I think I'm just going to run a bit of 1% or something over it. Right. Right, power tools you're going to need for grinding out. Grinder with a shroud on it, so shroud can collect dust. I'll explain this. I don't know if I've already explained it because I did this. Let's get shut off chicken. Right, tools you're going to need for. Oh, can I shut up?